Hello all my stars, mates, and ladies out there. How's it going? It's Brad Whelan, also known as Jimmy J57, and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Now, I got a very exciting video for you guys today, kind of corresponding to the new Cunning Stunts update that just came out on Tuesday. Now, that update included a lot of awesome new stunt races. Pretty much the biggest aspect of that DLC was all the stunt races, and they're so much fun. I hope you guys have been playing them online. But what I've been doing today is I've been digging through the game files, and I actually found a bunch of the objects that are used to make the stunt races in online. And I thought that, you know, because August 2nd, it's supposed to be the proposed release date of the race creator version of those stunt races, I thought, you know, I'd show off some of the objects that I found, because some of these objects are probably going to be able to be used by us in the race creator. So there's 112 different objects. I only grabbed some of the cool different ones to show you guys. There's a bunch of variations of like different ramps. There's a whole bunch of different angles and like turns. There's a bunch of different angles, that kind of stuff. So I only grabbed kind of one of each to kind of demonstrate what is going to be included for parts for making races. So let's get started here. First, I just kind of made a little circle here of the different kind of ramps that they have. Now, there's the small ones, the medium ones. There's bigger, medium, large, extra large, and then huge. As far as those go, now up here there is an even bigger one. This is called the landing pad, I believe they called it. So just a giant landing pad for those huge jumps that you guys do. Now over here we have a wall, it looks like. I forget what it's called exactly in the parts menu, but it's like some sort of curved wall where you can, you know, go up, ride the wall. You may recognize this from some of the races. Now I don't know why all the parts are star spangled. Don't get me started on that. I have no clue why. I just spawned them in like this. I didn't, you know, change any settings. They all just came in like this, so that's cool. Now we're gonna go over to the objects over here. So of course we're gonna get the bowling ball, the bowling pin. Now they call this the bowling pin stand. Let me just get a better look at it. They call this the bowling pin stand. Now I'm not really sure, you know, how to exactly incorporate this into a race, but you know, it looks cool to me. Now over here we have these soccer balls. There's 3 different sizes. There's small, medium, large, as well as a soccer net. And there's something over here that I didn't actually see in any of these stunt races that Rockstar released. These are called Dominoes. They were also in the game files, so I'm hoping, you know, you can stand them all up and like get people to knock them down. I think that'd be kind of cool. Now, we're going to move over to some of the jumps that are included. Actually, sorry, first, I will talk about this one. This is just called a landing pad, so you may recognize this from some of the races. It's just kind of, you know, used to land on after huge jumps, or you can even just place it in a race to drive across. You know, it works all the same. Now, over here, we got some nice ramps. I don't actually recognize seeing any of these. Actually, no, I lied. I can picture some of these in the races that I've played so far in the Cunning Stunts update, which are all very cool. These are the thin versions of them, but there are wider variations of them. So of course it's not just one car wide, you can have multiple cars go on them. Next we have this awesome loop. Now this I didn't see in any of the races that Rockstar put out. This awesome big loop. I'm hoping you're able to put some speed strips on there, because I don't know if you can get all the way around there with every single car, especially sports cars might not make it. But a very cool loop. I've driven it, it actually does work. It looks like you're almost going to clip yourself coming out of this and going into this side, but it all works out fine. Now next we have 2 awesome huge ramps. So we got a thin version and a thick version, and you just go from this platform way up high and you shoot all the way down. Now hopefully not on these ones, it didn't spawn in with it, but hopefully you're able to place some slow strips on the edge of there, because those actually do help a lot instead of just going flying off the end of here and missing your ramp. Now we're going to pop over to all the tubes here. I put a whole bunch of different tubes just because they all have slight variations and show off different aspects of what we're going to be getting. So the first one you may recognize is just a jump tube where you jump through the ring in the middle of the tube. There's another jump tube over here. I don't actually remember seeing this in any races, but it looks like the end of the tube has the jump. So, you know, the tube doesn't need to be like angled upwards or anything to get that jump at the end. It actually has a built-in jump. Next we have this little kind of cross thing. So it looks like it's trying to focus everyone to go up the ramps, and it looks like you can make it to kind of cross at different parts in the race to cross through the same section of tube, which I actually thought was really cool. Now next I'll bypass that little end piece for a sec, because I want to kind of demonstrate how this could be used. So this is kind of like a split. It's kind of like, they call it a fork, and this tube is really cool because one of the aspects of the stunt races that I really like is that there's multiple paths at different parts of the race. Now the little siren that goes off during those splits is kind of annoying, but it actually is really cool that you can take 2 different paths and you don't have to race the same way every time you race that race. So it kind of is cool. I haven't seen a race in the Rockstar created ones that uses this kind of tube split, but I thought this was really cool. Now I'll go back over here. what I was thinking is this is actually a tube ending piece. And what I was thinking is some people's races might actually make it as a troll. Like one of the paths doesn't actually go anywhere. It might just be completely a troll and have this at the end and kind of, you know, mess with racers a little bit. Now, moving on to some other parts, we have some gap tubes. So you can see here, this actually has a hole through the side of it, actually 2 panels of it. So you can actually make jumps and part of the race come back through this hole in the tube. And I thought it would just be really, really cool. So, you know, have some people driving through the bottom of it to go one way, and then you have other people like flying through the air through the hole, just going the other way. Thought it was a really cool aspect. Of course, we have the turning turbine in this one. This is just kind of like an angled tube. It's on a 15-degree angle. There's greater angles like 30, 45, kind of that kind of thing. And then there's also this nice big turn tube here. Oh, I just clipped them together a little bit. That's my bad. But anyway, it still works. And then finally, we have the speed rings, of course. So you can just kind of add this partway in your tube structures, and then you'll be able to have that extra speed added. So very cool stuff there. Now, since I covered all the ramps and I covered all the tubes, now we're going to get onto the track pieces. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of track pieces here. They're taking up a lot of space, but they are very cool. So let me just get up higher here and let's get taking a look at them. So this one here is just a ramp piece. There's many different angles. This is the 30-degree angle, I believe, but you can also get 15, 45, however steep you want it to be. Now, next we have this bump one. I haven't actually seen this one used in any of the Rockstar created races, so very cool stuff there. Hopefully it works out fluently. If you go off one bump, you don't hit into the other. You either land on the other side of it or land fluently into it. That would actually be very nice, especially for bikes. This one would be very cool. Now, next we just have a straight piece. I just wanted to add this in here to show you there is straight pieces of all different lengths. Now, what this one has unique about it is that it has a cutout underneath. So if you wanted, you know, the race to follow through on the ground and cut through the part that, you know, is going up high above, then you do get that aspect. Here we have a widened track section where it goes from thin to wide. Here we have, sorry, let's just get up higher again. We have this little kind of turn. That's all it is, just a small little turn piece. There are longer ones, but I just wanted to show that, you know, there's turn pieces. This one's not a ramp, but more or less just a change in elevation as you're racing, so that one's cool there. We have turns, so you got the big turn piece here. Not really sure why I spawned in this small one, but you know what? It just kind of shows you that there is, you know, the small pieces there. Now, this is another fork you can see here, so this one's really cool. So you can have a fork in the track on the track pieces. Now we do have this is what they call a funnel piece. So very thin down the middle, hopefully for bikes only, but you know, for cars, this is getting really, really intense. Next, we have this giant hump. I can't remember what exactly they called this, but it's just a huge hump. You probably want to put slow strips at the top to slow people down because they're going to go flying off the other side, but definitely a cool one there. Next, we have this awesome gap jump. I thought this one was really cool. Haven't seen this one in any races. So you can actually have people racing, you know, through the middle here on a different piece of track, and then you can have them jumping over top at a different part in the race. Very cool there. Over here, I don't think that is a useful track section. I think I just threw that to the side, forgot to delete it. Again, just another short track section. Now, over here is the interesting part. If you notice, these don't look like normal road. This is actually ice. You can actually spawn in ice track pieces. So you have turn and straight pieces of ice. And that's going to add a whole different aspect to certain parts of the race. Now, this is going to force people to either slow down or, you know, be very cautious on the turns, especially the straight part on the ice. You're going to want to watch out for when you're hitting people, that kind of stuff, because that's going to get really intense if your cars are sliding out a little bit. So I thought that was really cool to include, and definitely isn't in any of the Rockstar created races so far. Next, we have just the starting platform. As you can see, this looks like a 16-person race, maybe more. Actually, that might be 30. No, I can't even count that fast, but it's a lot of people on there. And then finally, we do have the U-turn piece. You may recognize this. It is used a lot in those Rockstar races where you get that big, nice turn. And that concludes all the pieces that I found interest in. Now, like I said, these aren't all the pieces. There's 112 that I found in the game file, so lots of awesome objects coming to the Rockstar Race Creator. Some of these parts, like I said, I just took the important ones that I found. Stuff like this ramp here, there's a bunch of different variations. Stuff like the ramps down there, there's a bunch of different variations. These different panels down here, there's wider and thicker variation, or wider and thinner variations. That kind of stuff. So a lot of different variations of these parts, but these give you the main concept of what we're going to be getting. Lots of awesome stuff, even that goes beyond what Rockstar included in their own races. So I can't wait for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below if you've not already. And as always, have a good day.